All right, so when talking about pages, contents, and images, let me just go ahead and say all of it is under pages here. So if I click on that, content, that's where all the pages are kept, right? We covered this before, and that's your home page, and when I want to add new pages, I can add them. And in order for me to put the writing somewhere, I'll need to create pages. But it doesn't matter what order I do this stuff in. I can write the contents first and then decide what pages I want to make. I can create the images first and then decide what pages I want to put them on. So it's not a problem. You can do any of these three things in any order. Really doesn't matter which you do first, second, third. It's just however it comes in your head, however the vision of your pages come into your head, go for it that way. So right now let's talk about image generation. And how does this work? Well, we've got some functions here. One is to generate images, and another is to download zip, and the other is to delete images. So here's kind of the idea. If I go to generate images, it says, what do you want this title to say? You know what we say? Be as descriptive as you want to get good image combinations. And then how many images do you want to generate at one time? I'll tell you what. The higher you go, the more intense it can get on the process. And for some reason, sometimes it just doesn't do the work. So you'll set for the size that you want. And that's what we have. We have small, medium, and large image sizes. So let me say it this way. In the beginning, when you're testing, don't do 12. You're going to wait a long time and then nothing will appear. And then they're going to be all wrong anyway sometimes when they do. So just do a couple, make sure you get your original idea right and make sure it's coming out the way you want. And then you can test bigger batches, right? Just to double check that it's really cool. And besides, how many do you want per page anyway? If you're going for small images, you might be looking for something like 4 when you get it right. But then if you're going to get the 1 or 2 big images that are based on that command or another, then again, come back down and do your big ones and just do 1 or 2 or 3 at a time until you know you got it right. Then do as many as you need, right? And you may find still that it's better to do it in smaller batches so you don't waste time. That's okay. We'll get a grip on this thing with the course of time. We're finding that, making our code work with other code. Now we set the timing and the expectation so we can tell when things did or didn't happen, how long to wait. We're getting all that figured out as we go. And then how much looping to do to, do bigger projects. But we're getting it into place. So in the meantime, you're going to generate images, and that's step 1. So let's just do something like that right now, okay? 256, 1. I'm going to create some images. I'm going to say, what am I going to say? Cats sitting in various places in the backyard, like on, or just on chairs, table, and in the grass. Looking around. In different directions. I don't know. So that's the point. Do I need to go creating 12 of these that are great big images right now? No, I don't even know if I'm going to like the result yet. So I've got to test, man. I can do multiple titles, adding 1 title per line. Again, don't do that until you're pretty sure you like the result. This looks pretty good to me at a glance. I don't see why not, Okay, couple of features that are coming out real soon. We're going to be able to allow you to generate multiple and then select which ones you want to save. Right now, whatever you create, you got to save the whole batch. Another reason to generate a few at a time. Second thing, if you're not sure if the image is going to work for you or not, we're going to create a click to supersize. So you can just click each one to supersize, and then that way you can decide which ones you want to check mark and which ones you don't, and save, right? Now, if you're just doing this manually for a page here, a page there, one at a time, then of course you're going to put time and effort into really making sure you get these out. If you're doing mass pages, then you want the images to really come out right. And so that is what all this testing is about. That is what all the specifications are all about, right? Okay, I can save that. Now, let's say I did save that. Okay, that gave me the title, the number of images, the size of the image, and I can view it right here. And that's kind of cool. I can't supersize it yet, but I'll be able to later. Okay, I can, try to do something like that. All right. Reset. Okay. And it tells me when they created, and I could check mark and delete it if I want, like if I'm going to delete a few, or download it as a zip. Right now it's just one image though, right? So you know what else I could do? I could copy the same command. Let's say I'm going to go further with this thing. We're going to generate images. I'm going to put it in here. And I'm going to say, let's say 4 images that happen to be medium size. It's really, I want one good one. So I'm going to generate 4 so I could grab one that's good, okay? Or I want 2 good ones or something like that, okay? So like I said, we're going to have it so you can check mark each one that you like, but you could also click it just to supersize it and see if you like it for sure at the right size. The 256 by 256 or 512 by 512 or 1024 by 1024. We'll probably come out with more sizes and stuff later, I'm sure, in the drop-down list standard stuff. But for now, these are good enough. So then you can save your images, right? And so like I said, you'll be able to check mark which ones you want to save after supersizing them. So now I see what I've got. I've got 4 that use the same title, that have the same size, where I view the images. It's true that this is going to be pretty long if your commands are clear enough to create the kinds of exact imagery that you want, right? So I don't know, we'll probably have shorter titles or something, and then you can hover over, and then that'll blow up the title in such a way that you can see the whole thing. That way each of these rows doesn't have to be so big, but otherwise you'll just scroll down. You can get as many images as you want. All right, now say you're going to download the zip. It does not matter what you check mark right now. It's going to download everything that's here, okay? So if you've already downloaded good images, go ahead and get rid of it from your working pane here. You don't need to keep stuff up in here once you have it, right? So you can download the zip. And when you do, it'll create it. It'll just give it a name, archive.zip, but you can change the name to whatever you want. Cats, backyard, small and medium model images, right? .zip, right? And then that way, I can show in the folder. Okay. And I can, let's see, I want to actually make a folder for this thing, don't I? Something more cool. So let me call folder like AAA-images. Why do I do AAA? Just to get the folder to show up at the top of the folder list, Show more options, refresh. And it won't do it. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to take this thing and stick it in there maybe. Or I'm going to extract right to it, Okay, watch. I'm trying to stick this in there. Okay, there it went. Now, extract all, extract. Okay, so I'm just keeping my stuff in order so I can upload it to the sites into the right places for the right projects. I know what's going on. Oh, it's still got some other images in here that we generated before from other things. I got to see why that's still there. Oh, I actually put the note in, so I'm just waiting for the programmers to deal with it. Look at that. It's kind of cool, huh? What do you do with it? I don't know, but it's kind of cool. So there you go. Happy dogs at the dog park. What do I know? Isn't it wild to imagine that these dogs never existed? They're standing here. They look like they existed, but they never did, right? They're not real. And so here we've got our cat. Other cats, other cats, other cats, and so on. Now, very often the images here are not like perfect. They kind of have their own little twist to things. So sometimes you might just want to lean to simplicity and say pixel art, or you'll want to use a term like photorealistic. Make sure you get it the way you want. But it just takes practice, right? And that's the whole reason for doing this a certain way, to kind of get a sixth sense for how to write it and what you want to say in order to get it to work. But you can use all kinds of things. You can dare to say, what, steampunk art, oil and pastel, in the style of Van Gogh, photorealistic, in a dark lit room with ears backlit. There's all kinds of weird things you can say to get just the effects you're after, and make sure you like the way that's going to roll. Okay? Okay, so once I'm done with it, and I've got my images downloaded, and I want to make life easy on myself, I can delete the images. Okay? So there you go. This is how I keep generating the kinds of things I'm after and the things I want. Save your commands if you're going to use them for bulk use. Like what you would normally do is with those commands you had for the cat, say you got a couple of commands. Well, when you do, you get the commands the way you want them. Mark them down, put them in a notepad or something, because you're going to wind up using them in your production, right? Cats sitting in backyard, etc., right? Looking around, or whatever I said there. Okay, and then save it, and make notes so that when you go generating the contents, you can put your image generation commands where you want them to go for the content pages, right? To build your content page variations, okay? For your one or more sites, your one or more subdomains, for your one or more affiliates, or your one or more cities, whatever makes most sense for your needs. Okay, hope you find that interesting.